Oh, it's pretty low. How did I get so low? All right. Let's see. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome one, welcome all, welcome aboard. Come on in. Get yourself a chair, sit down, lay down, crawl down, make yourself comfortable. All right. Welcome to my channel, Aware and Convinced. My name's Glenn. I am a recovered alcoholic, drank for 40 plus years, and by the grace of God, I have 5,000 days of sobriety. And it's only by we have those. It says we lost connection. I guess we're reconnected now. Okay, that's good. I don't know why that happened. But hey, with YouTube, anything's possible, right? But welcome aboard. Nice to have you with us tonight. Hey, I do too. Thank you, Jeremy. Welcome. And stick around a little while. East Coast time is a little after 9 o'clock Eastern. And so wherever you are, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I hope that you'll stick around for a little bit. We talk recovery here, pretty much. I mean, we'll talk about anything really, but we spend a lot of time talking about recovery. And I hope that you will enjoy, maybe get something out of it. If you have any questions or if you any comments, just be sure and put them in the chat. And of course, If you like what you hear, make sure that you click the like button. I'd appreciate that very much. Like and subscribe, as they say. And where's Kitty? Kitty just disappeared. What are you doing? How'd you get trapped in here? Hold on, folks. How'd you get trapped in here? Come on. You can go out. I have to open up my door so she can get out if she wants to. She's my mascot. You'll see her crawling around on my chair and behind me, and she's apt to be anywhere. I think she just left. Couldn't take it, so she left. Of course you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. And God is the best, Jeremy. God is the best. And then God bless you. And may God watch over you and protect you all the days of your life. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. And I hope that you will take advantage of the good days of your life. All the days of your life. So, another day in paradise for everybody. I hope you're all doing well out there. And hope that you'll stick around for a little while. We'll be here for a little bit. This is like the meeting after the meeting. AA, NA, Celebrate Recovery. Whatever your favorite flavor is, I invite you to stick around. I'm going to shut that door so Kitty doesn't come back in. There we go. And she might start whining out there. Let me in, let me in. All righty. So where are we? You know, what we've been doing lately is we've been going through the big book of AA and doing some reading of the big book. And I hope to complete that in the next few weeks anyway. A lot of great life lessons to be learned if you're in recovery. And again, it doesn't matter what your addiction happens to be. You're welcome here. Alcohol, drugs, hard drugs, because alcohol is a drug. Food, whatever. Drugs, sex, rock and roll, whatever your hang up happens to be, whatever your addiction happens to be, you are welcome right here. So stick around a little while. Let's see. So who else is out there tonight? Let's see if anybody else is going to come along tonight. Let's see. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, to change the things I can. Yeah. A little serenity. And let's see, where is the extended version? There it is. I don't know. Google is long form. Let's see, where is that? Oh, there it is right there. Perfect. Perfect. How do I get a copy of that? Grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Absolutely. The wisdom is very important. And the extended version is very good as well. of the Serenity Prayer. For all of us in recovery, it's something that I said a lot in early recovery. I still say it once in a while, actually, at least once a week. Not that I count, but I do go to Celebrate Recovery now. I did start with AA, spent my formative non alcoholic years in AA, and switched over to Celebrate Recovery about 2 years ago. And it's very good. Been there ever since. Try it, you like it, as they used to say. Try it. It works. So we were talking about the Big Book of AA, and we're doing some readings out of the Big Book of AA. I'd still like to get a copy of this. How do I get a copy? Oh, there's a printable version. How about that? Well, I'm going to save that page and get a printable version. Love it. Beautiful. Be a good way to close out the live stream with the Serenity Prayer, don't you think? I do. Okay. So, welcome aboard. Grab a seat. Chill. And welcome. Yeah, I'm the old Navy vet. The old Navy vet. Old is the key word. Old is the key word. It's funny, I've been noticing that lately, especially when I get up in the morning. Wow. I had some muscles in my back I didn't know I had before. Man, they get me early in the morning. So when my daughter calls me, hey, old man, I don't take offense anymore. I never did. Because it's a fact, Jack. It's a fact. I did want to make up my mind to go backwards. You know, I said my next birthday, I'm not going to go forwards anymore. I am definitely going to go backwards from now on. No doubt about it. So I'll be shaving the years off, you know, one at a time. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be peachy? So, how y'all doing out there on this U.S. date is the 28th, coming up on the 29th. I know it's the 29th already across the pond. But 28th, soon to be the 29th, because we're doing this live on the 28th. Not that it's confusing or anything like that. So welcome one, welcome all. This is just an open meeting for anybody that is in recovery or thinking about recovery. Maybe you're just overdoing it a little bit, too much partying on the weekends. That happens. I know what happened to me, and one thing leads to another eventually, and you step over that line once or twice. Sometimes all it takes is once, and you begin to realize that there is a little problem going on. So I do suggest that you look into AA or NA, Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, or Celebrate Recovery. Great organizations. Grab yourself one of the big books off of Amazon. They're relatively inexpensive, and they could charge a lot more. This is the study Bible for Celebrate Recovery. And of course, this happens to be a hardcover of Alcoholics Anonymous. And what we're doing is we're reading a little bit day by day through the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. We're actually up to chapter 5 in the big book, and that is how it works. So if you're interested how it works to get sober, how it works to live a life without drugs or alcohol, yeah, try that for a change. How it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program, usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. You know, when I read through the books, I want you, whether it's the big book of AA or NA or Celebrate Recovery, I try to stick with the script as much as I can, the actual printing. With AA, however, the big book of AA, it was written so long ago, 1935, and they haven't updated a lot of the language. There's a lot of terms that they use that most people, can't relate to. So I try to self-edit as I go along here, just to make it a little more palatable and easy to understand. So without taking changing the meaning of the context, okay? Just for those purists out there that happen to listen in. So we talk about how it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who's thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program, usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. You know, that's so true. Honesty is such a huge part of your sobriety. Being honest, being willing to give it a shot, and being honest with yourself and everybody else, of course. There are such unfortunates that just don't get it. That's okay. They're not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They're naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity, here it comes, to be honest. Okay? Very, very important word in sobriety. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we're like now. You know, I can tell you in a general way what I used to be like. I always had a drink in my hand, 90% of the time, except when I was sleeping. Normally I had a drink in my hand. Well, I'd say, you know, I'd say afternoon all the way. So about 12 hours out of the day, you know, noon to midnight. I typically had a drink in my hand. And on the weekends, it was, pretty steady. A lot of those memories that I have are just blurs. You know, I do remember little things here and there, but certainly not as sharp as it could. You know, and then I stepped over the line a few times with consequences. And what I like to say is, I can't drink because I'm allergic to alcohol. if I do handcuffs, typically. Um, so there's a lot of that goes on. And what happened? I had a significant spiritual experience. Um, Stopped drinking, got sober, and my life has changed over the years. Now, has it been easy? Not all the time, because life is life. Life has its ups and downs, it has its calamities, it has its good times, great times, and really bad times. But most of the time, you survive without a drink or a drug. You definitely can. And what is it like now? It's great. Been sober over 5,000 days. I have a 15-year anniversary coming up. And I haven't thought about a drink in 14 and a half years. Thought about it. Haven't even thought about it. So I've been blessed. I've been very lucky. And you can be too if you're looking to get out of the ditch and make some changes in your life. You can do it. You can put up the addiction forever. Get rid of it. You don't need it. You do not need it as much as your brain is telling you that you do. You don't. It lies. It lies to you. And it will eventually kill you. Yeah. If you don't stop it and catch it before it's too late, it will put you down. It definitely will. I've seen it happen firsthand. I know it happens. So, on a positive note, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So I was saved. I was saved from a horrible death, either medically or physically, like a car wreck or something like that, or who knows. But I was saved from going out that way. So far, keep your fingers crossed. But seriously, remember, there are only 3 ways you can go in addiction, whether it's addicted to alcohol or any other drug, because alcohol is a drug. You're either, there's jail, there's institutions, and there's death. And that's it. That's it, folks. If you're not, going to get the fact that you need to make changes, right? Hi, Denise. I'll give you a shout out. And salam. Mr. KZ, salam. Yeah. So we are talking about addiction and recovery here. So I hope you kind of stick around for that. We're going through the big book, chapter 5, how it works. And so I just told you a little bit about my history. And like I said, right, after having gone through the mess, the other life, I always like to say, if you recovered from an addiction and you're in recovery, or you've been sober for a length of time, we are blessed in that we are the only people on earth that I can think of. Now, maybe you can think of somebody else, but we're the only people on earth that have lived 2 lives. The one during our addiction and the one that we're living after our addiction in sobriety. And they are. How can you get two lives that are more opposed 180 degrees? Right? So I hope that you're living the life of sobriety right now. Or if you're not, that's okay. You know, you'll get there. You'll get there. And you'll join the club. You know, because you're not alone. You know, we've all been out there. We've all been out. In one way or another, we've been out. And you may relapse, but you don't give up on a relapse. What do we say in meetings? Keep coming. It gets better. It gets better. So back to the big book of AA. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we're like now. So if you've decided that you want what we have, and the we they're talking about are the first 100 that put together the big book. If you want what we have and are willing to go to any lengths to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. And at some of these, we balked. We balked. We thought that we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol/addiction. Doesn't matter what your addiction is. It's cunning, baffling, and powerful. Without help, it's too much for us. But there is one who has all power, and that one is God. May you find him now. So if you find God, that's a giant helping hand right there to get you on the other side to sobriety. I don't believe you can do it without God, without God's help. That's just my opinion, but that's how I feel about it. Now, if you might feel differently, and that's okay, as long as you get there, get to the other side, get to sobriety. That's great. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. And here are the steps that we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. And where in the Bible was your body made evil? Well, I don't think your body, not so much your body, I'd have to say. I think it was your brain. Your brain. And doesn't that go back to the Garden of Eden, you know? With Adam and what's her name? Right? She was a troublemaker. But we'd be lost without her. Half measures avail us nothing. No, you got to go all the way. You got to do this all the way. I signed up just the other night for another go at the 12 steps. I did the 12 steps back in AA. long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to do it more than once. So we're going to do it another, we're going to give it another go around through Celebrate Recovery this time, which I'm looking forward to. Half measures availed us nothing. You can't do it halfway. You got to do it 100% all the way. There are no half measures. And here are the steps. Step one, what did we do? We admitted that we were powerless over our addiction, alcohol, drugs, food. Because most of the recovery programs out there use the 12-step program in their recovery process, treatment centers, so forth. So we admitted we were powerless over our addiction, whatever it is, and that our lives had become unmanageable. They were falling apart. I know mine did, for sure. As hard as I tried to put it back together, as long as I kept drinking, alcohol was my drug of choice, then it fell apart every single time. Step two, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. That power is up to you. As long as you have a power and believe in a power, have faith in a power greater than yourself, it could restore you to sanity. Okay. Number three, and here's where a lot of people get a little bit shaky. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Made a decision. So we're not just thinking about doing these 12 steps. We're not just thinking about maybe let's get sober for a while. We'll try it. No, we're making a decision. And we're making a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. And I'm not perfect either. You know, I have to remind myself of that on a daily basis. I really do, because I always want to take things, I want to be in control. I want to be the boss. And it just doesn't work that way. I got a bigger boss. Oh, yeah. So we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Step three. Step four, we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Inventory of ourselves. You know what an inventory is, right? So like if you take an inventory, what's in the store, what's on the shelves, what's in there? What is in there? Searching and fearless. We can't be afraid of what we might find behind some of those closed doors in there, right? Number five, step five, we admitted to God and to ourselves and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Who have you wronged lately? Who did you scream at work or at home? Family, kids, friends? Who were you upset about? Who did you hurt? Well, these are the things that we're going to share And we're going to admit to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Okay. Number 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. All of these defects of our character. We're ready to have God take those away and throw them in the trash. And number 7, we humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. So there's a lot in those steps right there, those 4, 5 steps. There's a lot in there. There's a lot in all 12. But there's a lot right in there because we made a decision. We made the searching and fearless inventory. We were ready. We admitted, rather, we admitted to God and to ourselves and another human being our wrongs. And then we're ready to have God remove all those defects. And we ask God humbly to remove all those shortcomings. So it all goes together. Number 8, we made a list. Make that list of all the persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Making amends, big part of getting sober. Now, some of us can't make direct amends to such people wherever possible because we've moved away, we don't know where they are, we've lost their phone number, there's so many life circumstances and many reasons why we cannot directly make those amends. So what do we do? We've got to make amends somehow. So what do? We make what we call living amends. And we do that every day by doing the right thing, by living the right way. Every single day, and staying sober, giving up all of those shortcomings to God. That's a living amends. And that is never stops. Never stops. And who knows, one of those days you may run into that person that you never expected to see again, and then you can make a direct amends to them. Number 10, we continued to take personal inventory. Yep, take an inventory every day. Make sure you stay on the right page. And when we were wrong, we promptly admitted it. So you jump on somebody, again, maybe your friend or somebody at work, a family member, who knows? And you say the wrong thing. You say the wrong thing. But instead of just letting it go and moving on to your next project, wherever that is, you promptly admit you're wrong. Promptly. That means apologize. Hey, I really, I just jumped all over you for no reason at all. I do apologize for that. I hope you'll accept my apology. And 99.9% of the time they will. And number 11, we sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. There's a lot in there too. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us. Which way do you want me to go, God? How do you want me to get through today? Can you help me get through today? His will for us and the power to carry that out. There's a lot to that. Having had as number 12 now, having had a spiritual experience, as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics/addicts, doesn't matter what your addiction is, and to practice these principles in all our affairs, every single day. And if you look at my logo, you'll see 312 under the cross, and that can be taken different ways. But when I put it together, the 3 and the 12 were the 3rd step and the 12th step. Number 3, you made a decision to turn your will and your life over to the care of God as you understand him. And number 12, having had a spiritual experience, as a result of these steps, you carried the message to other addicts, and you constantly practice these principles in all your affairs. So that's the 3 and 12 in my logo, just for general knowledge. Many of us exclaimed, "Oh no, what an order, I can't go through with it." Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. Well, that's for sure. The point is that we're willing to grow along spiritual lines. Willing is the magic word, and spiritual. The principles we set down here are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Yeah, it's ongoing. It's growing constantly, spiritually. Constant growth. That's something I always had. I guess I was very lucky. I was blessed. No matter what pushed me down, I always wanted to get up and move forward. Moving forward. That is a big key to bettering. Is bettering a word? Making better your life. Keep moving forward. Keep changing in a positive way. We are not saints. We're willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we set down are guides to progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic/addict, the chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventures. And man, have we had the adventures. Some of them indescribably fabulous, others not so much. Our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic/addicts and could not manage our own lives. True. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. In my case, it was alcoholism. Alcohol's a drug, but it could have been another drug, a hard drug, could have been anything. Um, and no human power could have relieved me of my addiction. That's for sure. And that God could and would and did if sought. If you look for God, God, in my opinion, God will do the supernatural miracle working. You do the rest. I believe that with all of my soul because it happened to me. That's how it worked for me. So I believe it. God did the miracle making. I'll do the rest. Being convinced. Whoops. It wasn't an earthquake. Being convinced, we were at step 3, which is that we decided to turn our will and our life over to God as we understood him. Just what do we mean by that? And just what do we do? Hence, the second or the third word in my channel name is convinced. So being convinced, we were at step 3. All right, so what do we do? How do we do? What is that all about? What do we mean by that? Well, the first requirement was that we were convinced that any life run on self-will could hardly be a success. And on that basis, we're almost always in collision with something or somebody, even though our motives are good. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? It means that if you are running on your own control, you're in control. If you believe that you're the boss, self-will, I am in charge. I know what's going on. I am the boss of me. On that basis, we're almost always in collision with something or somebody else, even though our motives are good. Yeah, try that at work sometime. Try that while you're working, wherever it is you're working. What happens? Oh, I got a better idea. This is how they should do it. Well, that's okay. Write it down, put it in the suggestion box if they have one. That's cool. Yeah, self-will. It's going to, I don't want to say bury you, but it will bury you. Self-will will make a mess of your life. Because you're always going to be in collision with somebody else or something else. You'll always have resentments. Even though you're a good person, you'll always have resentments. And those resentments will keep you in your addiction. Most people try to live by self-propulsion. Each person is like an actor who wants to run the whole show. Didn't I just say that? Strange. How did I know that? Each person is like an actor who wants to run the whole show, is forever trying to arrange the lights, the ballet, the scenery, and the rest of the players in his own way. If his arrangements would only stay put, if only people would do as he wishes, the show would be great. Everybody, including himself, would be pleased. Life would be wonderful. In trying to make these arrangements, our actor may sometimes be quite virtuous. Good intentions? What do they say about good intentions? He may be kind, considerate, patient, generous, even modest and self sacrificing. On the other hand, he may be mean, egotistical, selfish, and dishonest. Yeah, I've met those too. But as with most humans, he is more likely to have varied traits. What usually happens? The show doesn't come off very well. He begins to think life doesn't treat him right. He decides to exert himself some more. He becomes, on the next occasion, still more demanding or gracious, as the case may be. Still, the play does not suit him. Admitting that he may be somewhat at fault, he is sure that other people are more to blame. He becomes angry, indignant, self-pitying. Yeah, what does that sound like? What is this basic trouble? He's not really a self-seeker, even when trying to be kind. He's not a victim of the delusion that he can wrest satisfaction and happiness out of this world if he only manages well. Is it not evident to all the rest of the players, that these are the things he wants? And do not his actions make each of them wish to retaliate, snatching all they can get out of the show? Is he not even in his best moments a producer of confusion rather than harmony? Oh, who does that remind you of? Anybody? A producer of confusion rather than harmony? Can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Actor is self-centered. Oh, okay. Here we go. Egocentric, as people like to call it. He's like the retired businessman who sucks up the Florida sunshine in the winter, complaining of the sad state of the nation. The minister who sighs over the sins of the 20th and 21st century. Politicians and reformers who are sure all would be utopia if the rest of the world would only behave. The outlaw safecracker who thinks society has wronged him, and the alcoholic addict who has lost all and is locked up. Whatever their protestations, are not most of us concerned with ourselves, our resentment, or our self? We step on the ones of our fellows, we step on the toes of our fellows, rather, and they retaliate. Sometimes they hurt us, seemingly without provocation, but we invariably find that at some time in the past we've made decisions based on self, which later placed us in a position to be hurt. That happened to me. Yeah, absolutely. I was the boss. I was in charge. I was the king of my castle. Until I wasn't. And I was not in control of anything. I thought I was, but I wasn't. My life had become unmanageable. So to continue, from the Big Book of AA. So our troubles, we think, are basically of our own making. They arise out of ourselves, and the addict, alcoholic, is an extreme example of self-will run riot, though he usually doesn't think so. Above everything, we addicts must be rid of the selfishness. We must, or, quoting here, it kills us. God makes that possible. And there often seems to be no way of entirely getting rid of self without Him. Many of us had moral and philosophical convictions galore, but we could not live up to them even though we would have liked to. Neither could we reduce our self centeredness by wishing or trying on our own power. We had to have God's help. This is the how and the why of it. Wow, that is major words. Excuse me. I get my allergies around this time of night, and I have no reason. I have no reason to, but I do. I'm allergic to myself, I guess. This is the how and the why of it. First of all, we had to quit playing God. Good point. It didn't work. Next, we decided that hereafter in this drama of life, God was going to be our director. He is the principal. We are his agent. He is the father. We are his children. Most good ideas are simple, and this concept was the keystone of a new and triumphant arch through which we passed to freedom. When we sincerely took such a position, all sorts of remarkable things followed. We had a new employer, being all powerful. He provided what we needed if we kept close to him and performed his work well. Established on such footing, we became less and less interested in ourselves, our little plans and designs. More and more, we became interested in seeing what we could contribute to life. As we felt new power flow in, as we enjoyed peace of mind, as we discovered that we could face life successfully, as we became conscious of his presence, we began to lose our fear of today, tomorrow, or the hereafter. We were reborn. Wow. That's strong. That is strong. And again, I apologize for my allergic reaction here. Seems to happen every evening at this time because I'm in the evening hour right now. But if you're watching this morning, afternoon, evening, overnight, pay no attention to my allergies. So we were reborn. And that's what I had said earlier, was that we live two lives, one in addiction and one out of addiction. And they are two separate, totally different lives. Totally. So first of all, what we had to do, we had to quit playing God. Didn't work. And hereafter in this drama of life, God was going to be our director, right? He's the principal. We're his agent. He's the father. We're the kids. And most good ideas are simple. His concept was keystone. And that is the arch that we walk through to this new freedom. We were reborn. We were now at step 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it right there for now. This has been a good hour meeting. And I appreciate you all coming on board, sticking around. We're going to try to do it again tomorrow evening, Eastern time, between 9 and 10 o'clock. And if we get enough folks in there chit-chatting, we'll obviously extend it. But I do want to thank you for coming around anyway. Thanks for being here. Again, my name's Glenn. The channel is Aware and Convinced. And I've got some long form videos also on the YouTube. So I invite you to check those out. And I've got the steps all included and whatnot on the live side. We did that a while back. And there's no harm. We can do it again. But check those out as well. A lot of good info. I think, and if I might toot my own little horn, I think there's a lot of valuable information on the channel. So check it out. Like and subscribe if you would. I will see you, hopefully, without my little allergy, itchy nose. We'll see you next time around. Remember, trust God, clean house, help others. God bless you. God bless our veterans. And don't ever forget, somebody out there loves you. And we'll see you next time. Take care for now. Bye-bye.